How frequently do you see middle-aged or older women on dating apps saying, "I know my worth"? I'm looking for a committed relationship and I'm not interested in games. The intensity of the relationship is important to me. These are the opinions of a successful woman who has worked for 3 decades to build a reputation. In order to find a partner who can support them and carry on their genetic lineage so they can retire early, women in their mid-30s and beyond are using dating apps in droves, despite the fact that in recent years, men have become less likely to settle down with an older woman and more realistic about the situation. Women in their latter years can still locate partners who will wed them, formerly because men were unaware of the legal obligations placed on women. Most women steered clear of these fields because they were dissatisfied and wanted money more than what they saw at their wives, who were meant to adore them, turned against them. When friends and family members were expelled from the family, their husbands and the males started to notice it. On contemporary dating apps, there are still plenty of monkeys that give older women attention and approval, even though it is nothing compared to the attention they used to get as kids. Women of a certain age are starting to recognize that the womanist movement's central tenet, that males are less likely to commit crimes today than they were in the past, was incorrect. They were told that as they drank, a man would always appear, that the woman is the Kool-Aid must have been known to them. Nevertheless, they kept eating it. They shouldn't get married right away, just because they turned 18. To increase the potential amount of physical relationships a woman could have before getting married, they put their reliable friends on wait in order to go after the men they secretly desired. The rise of social media and dating applications heralded the start of the hookup culture era. A sign of the demise of dating and serious partnerships is the use of dating apps by older women to find a man who will commit to a relationship. It wouldn't exist if there had never been a tradition of casual physical contact. Women were first the ones who developed the custom of unprompted physical contact. Due to their drive to enjoy themselves and get the lads they wanted, women have damaged dating for themselves in future generations. The majority of dating app users are the same women who have helped traditional dating and romantic relationships suffer, which is perhaps the most depressing part of the growth of dating apps. However, their daughters, who are currently in their late 20s to early or mid-30s, are in the same predicament as their moms in this regard, as they have also had little luck in finding a mate. Because getting a divorce is getting harder, these guys aren't really trying to find a serious relationship. No man wants to mesmerize a lady who has been actively chased by hundreds of men, which only adds insult to injury, because she wasn't interested in the other men she liked. Men are less willing to take financial risks because they don't want a girlfriend or wife who is only interested in dating men. As a result, more and more middle-aged and senior women are happy that men have adjusted to life without them. Women of a particular age who use dating apps to moan and radiate negativity, or women who have always been independent and never felt the need for a man's companionship. This has no bearing on poor or men. Taking into account the dating scene nowadays, when they could be dating ladies in their prime, it is perplexing why men would choose to date women who are already far into their senior years. Where time is getting harder and where there is a new recession ready to start, why would a man spend more on a physically unattractive woman who wants a committed relationship is a mystery. It defies logic that some women earn a living by marketing their bodies online. You shouldn't feel sorry for any of these ladies as a result. Women of this age are unfit to be wives and are more interested in a retirement plan than a mate. Therefore, regardless of the situation, they will divorce you. In spite of your magnificent beauty, when older women express serious interest in you on dating apps, you must keep composure and perspective. Then, walk over 3 corpses once demands have exhausted their affection. They now only want your money and perhaps a child. About the difficulties women have when using dating apps, I could go on and on, but I'd like to let them speak for themselves. Men can choose from a larger range of ages when dating, yet they also tend to date younger women more frequently. It's normal for males to date both younger and older women, since they're more willing to rush into a new relationship and less likely to give the prior one another chance. It can be perceived as heartless. Many people believe that women in their 40s and 50s are substantially more physically developed and capable of giving significantly greater pleasure, compared to, say, women in their 20s. Men prefer partners in their 20s and 30s, which is bad, as it is challenging to raise children on your own. See Advocates Nicolahan and That Lamb concur. Many single mothers who homeschool their children alone believe they have little to contribute to society. They could therefore think that going out to bars and clubs to meet people is something only the young do. She is unable to continue dating outside of a relationship institution. She also does not hide the fact that she also suffers from concomitant depression. I prefer to date my age, thus, as well as the fact that the majority of males my age are exclusively drawn to women in their 20s and 30s. After realizing that only older men were contacting me, I gave up on internet dating. When finding men worth meeting is so difficult, it is hard to envision a situation in which I might discover a friend. It has the capacity to develop into a full-time job. And even if the male initiates contact, the lady will reject him in favor of finding someone more suited for her. Even if extreme gaming isn't always will be unmatched, she probably dated men in her 50s and 70s, and resisted settling down even now. I was in my early 30s and they were all in their 40s. This felt much more dated. A large percentage of the mail I get is from people in the 55+ and 50+ age groups. It appears that the women are idle and have nothing better to do. I would never ever advise a man to get married to an older woman, so long as you aren't 100% convinced that starting a family is what you desire. They say it's okay, therefore I'm planning to start a family on my own soon, and I'll encourage her to settle down and have children when she's 30 years old. If you plan to have children, you should anticipate having less free time in the future. The protagonist of the narrative is a lady in her 30s who regrets waiting to have children and shares her regrets with the reader. Additionally, she is unable to find a compatible partner with whom to create a family, leaving her with little choice but to become pregnant alone. You will regret it if you give in to fear and make a pact. To give your support, click the thumbs up button. Please leave a comment below if you would like to see more videos like this one. Be sure to give it to the guys who are in the most precarious need of it.